Happening now, we look into boater safety courses from the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Department. All of this on the heels of an Ohio man drowning last week. And we hear from our county executive and what he faces in Mayville. Plus, it is officially baseball season. We look at the Jamestown Tarp Skunks home opening game.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Bronson Rasmussen. Those stories and more are coming up. But first, the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office will be holding 2 boater safety courses this month. Due to New York state requirements, operators must have a boater safety certificate if they were born on or after January 1st, 1983. By 2024, all who possess a motorized vehicle must have the certificate. Now, last week, an Ohio fisherman did drown in Chautauqua Lake, with authorities believing that was due to not having any life jacket on. Chautauqua County Sheriff Jim Quattrone believes that with the proper training, all water accidents could be avoidable.
I think the big thing is being courteous of other people, to be alert, to make sure that they do have life preservers of the proper size, adequate for every person that's on the vessel. Anybody that's under 12 has to be wearing them, and by the legislation, as well as anybody in vessels that are 21 foot, whether they're personal vessels or not, are supposed to be wearing them. And again, just it is a beautiful time of year. The summer's coming upon us, and unfortunately, too many people will be operating the vessels while consuming alcoholic beverages, and we would ask that to be smart about that.
The first class will be held on June 10th from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Turner Community Center at 4840 West Lake Road in Chautauqua. Now the second will be held on the 17th at the Lawson Center at 73 Lake Drive in Bemis Point. Well, a Connecticut man is facing a slew of charges following a high-speed chase in Chautauqua County Wednesday afternoon. Now, officers with the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office were on a routine patrol on Route 20 in the town of Portland when they observed a vehicle moving at a high speed. Deputies immediately tried to pull over the vehicle that then tried to flee the scene. The pursuit ended in a village of Fredonia, where officers placed the driver, 49-year-old Oleskander Papayuk, under arrest. He now faces multiple charges, including fleeing a police officer, reckless driving, and unlicensed operation. He was transported to Chautauqua County Jail, where he was issued uniform traffic tickets to appear in the town of Portland Court at a later date. Well, the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities is hosting a hot dog sale Friday to raise money for a local soup kitchen. At 10:30 and running until 2, the BPU will have hot dogs and a variety of chips and drinks, all to benefit the Cents for St. Susan's campaign, one of their major events for the year. The campaign is a community-wide effort that helps fund opportunities at the local soup kitchen. Now, those who go to the BPU also are encouraged to bring redeemable cans and bottles as well to donate. While County Executive P.J. Wendell, he participated in a public panel Friday morning to answer questions posed by community members in hopes to alleviate worries and give an update on Chautauqua County as a whole. Now, our Alyssa Wright was there this morning, and she does have more on what the county executive had to say. Alyssa?
That's right, Bronson. Wendell covered a wide variety of topics ranging from the county's immigrant policy and workforce readiness to the state of Chautauqua Lake. Many residents of the county voiced their concern about the rising migrant population in Chautauqua.
The state of emergency was enacted by myself and now 38 other counties across New York State bipartisanly to stop New York City from arbitrarily sending busloads of individuals to a county and leaving them. Tell them no, we cannot take more people because we don't have the services to provide.
Chautauqua Lake is a staple of our region, and Wendell recognizes that there is work to be done.
So we're looking at what they call sedimentation. federal government has to appropriate $100,000 to a new START program. Should that happen, and we're very encouraged right now, waiting to hear what happens, the Army Corps will then come in and do a scoping study for an aquatic ecosystem restoration project.
While Wendell understands that college is a great choice for those who want to attend, he also notes that it's important to be prepared to enter the workforce out of high school if one chooses.
You know, we need to focus on getting people into trades. We've gotten away from vocation. We've gotten away from preparing kids to be ready to enter the workforce instead of going to college. You choose to go to college, that's your choice. But if you choose to get out and enter the workforce, that's what we need to be ready for.
In the end, Wendell is seemingly very hopeful for the future of Chautauqua County.
My plan is to finish out these 2 more years of my current term and to run again. You know, we're just going to keep pushing. We're going to keep, opening doors and making opportunities happen.
Now, the county executive is also currently looking into micronuclear energy as a way to present a cleaner Chautauqua, ending his panel with this phrase, "If not now, when? If not us, who?" And stating that when it comes to our county, the sky's the limit. Live in studio, Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. And switching gears a little bit, let's get a first check of our weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Andrew Stevenson, and it looks great out there, Andrew.
Yeah, we start off with a live look over Chautauqua Lake. Looks like we got some canoers out there. We got some people out in the boat. Beautiful day out there with mostly sunny skies out there. Another beautiful day as it has been pretty much for the past few weeks, it seems like. Once again, we have an air quality alert issue for most of western New York except for Allegheny County, and this is because ozone is higher than what it normally should be, so that could create health risks for the young, the elderly, and anyone who has any health issues, and it's not recommended that they spend a lot of time outside as they could experience adverse health from the higher ozone levels. The almanac for today, we made it to a high of 83 degrees in the city of Jamestown. Our low for yesterday was 57, and the record is 98. Record high set back in 1934, the record low 35 set back in 2003. So here is your first defense weather forecast for the rest of the afternoon out there. Another partly mostly sunny skies out there. Highs today will range from the mid to upper 70s close to the immediate Lake Erie shoreline to the mid to upper 80s inland. Once again, some areas inland may break 90 degrees, but today should be the last day of these temperatures in the 80s as we cool it off towards the weekend. I'll have that full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. As WNY News Now continues, we take a deep dive into the Seneca Nation of Indians, where multiple pieces of legislation are being put on the table. And later, we continue to look at the debt ceiling and the latest from the Senate. Stay with us, as WNY News Now will be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York. And partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Mackermites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Hunting
Caitlin
on
Armstrong
private land has been quite the experience.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Now this week, some advocates traveled to the Capitol to push for legislation furthering the process of a new gaming compact. Now today, our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein, she talks to lawmakers about where this bill is in the legislature and updates us on its progress.
This cannot wait. This legislation needs to be passed now, or a dynamic economic engine will be at risk.
The Seneca Nation of Indians currently owns 3 casinos in Salamanca, Buffalo, and Niagara Falls. The Gaming Compact allows Seneca Nation to operate those casinos. Gaming Compact negotiations between the state of New York and Seneca Nation are ongoing, but the governor needs the legislature's authorization to sign the final agreement. A bill recently introduced in the legislature would facilitate this authorization. The Western New York tribe delivered over 1,000 letters this week pushing for the compact. Abrams says they want legislators to assure they are treated fairly in the compact agreement process.
The state leaders have a responsibility to address the inequities that Native nations have faced for hundreds of years and to assure that we are treated as a full or equal partner in our agreements.
Some lawmakers say the public will benefit from a fair and honest negotiation process for the compact.
And the more that we can do that, the better off you have as far as the relations go, not just between the Seneca Nation and New York State, but all people.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Continuing coverage on this, New York Senator George Borrello, well, he's introducing a new piece of legislation affecting the Seneca Nation of Indians, allowing on all this on the heels of a new gaming impact. Now, this legislation would authorize the state comptroller to review tribal state contracts and make approvals or much needed changes. Now, the senator cited the need for this change by pointing out to current negotiations between the tribe and New York Governor Kathy Hochul's administration. While currently the governor herself is the only official that can approve the contract, but she's recused any dealings with the Seneca Nation because of a personal conflict of interest. Now, he goes on to say that the relationship between the Seneca Nation and New York State Executive Branch has been strained due to the conflict over casino revenue. Borrello believes that the Seneca casinos have transformed the economy of Western New York and have been, quote, good partners to the state. Now, ultimately, he believes this legislation would help advance relations with the Seneca Nation. While the Department of Defense is tracking more than 800 cases of unidentified aerial phenomena, usually reviewed as UFOs. Well, that's what a top Pentagon official told a NASA panel studying the topic on Wednesday. Now, Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick said that the DoD gets roughly 50 to 100 new reports a month, but that only 2 of 5% of those reports are actually true anomalies. Now, NASA gathered a team of 16 experts to study what is called unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP. Now, that's basically anything that can't be identified as an artifact or known natural occurrence. The team is expected to release a report on all of their findings this summer. While jobless claims are holding steady at really a low level. According to the data released Thursday by the Department of Labor, first-time claims for unemployment insurance totaled 232,000 last week. Well, that's almost unchanged from the week before and slightly below economics expectations of 235,000. Now, the number of claims are up from a year ago, but not significantly. The steady level of weekly jobless claims continues to show that companies are reluctant to let go of workers. While the Federal Reserve has been hoping for a softening of the labor market, it continues to prove remarkably resilient. While President Biden tripped on a sandbag and fell Thursday at the U.S. Air Force Academy commemorate in Colorado. Now, the White House says that President Biden is fine. Here's the tumble. It happened after he finished handing out diplomas. A group of men, including an official with the Air Force Academy and 2 Secret Service agents, grabbed onto Biden's arm and helped him back onto his feet. The president returned to his seat in the stands without help and appeared to be in good spirits as the ceremony concluded. At 80 years old, Biden is the nation's oldest president. He's had previous stumbles in public. They include falling on the ground during a bike ride last year in Delaware, and he's been seen slipping on the stairs as he's boarded Air Force One. While the threat of the United States potentially facing its first ever default is gone, now this is shortly before midnight on Thursday, the Senate had passed a bill that raises the nation's debt limit. But not all lawmakers are in a celebratory mood. John Lornick reports.
After a late night on Capitol Hill, the debt ceiling dilemma comes to an end.
The yeas are 63, the nays are 36. The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023, which got through the House earlier this week, also succeeds in the Senate.
We've saved the country from the scourge of default, even though there were some on the other side who wanted default.
The measure also places a cap on non-defense spending, cuts some COVID-19 relief funds, and increases work requirements for some food stamp recipients.
Of course, nobody got everything they wanted. There was give on both sides, but this agreement was a very good outcome.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell released a statement applauding the passage of the bill, but added, quote, "Our work is far from over." Opinions about the bill range from glasses half full.
Is it a home run? No. It's maybe a single, maybe a double, but I don't think anyone expected that Kevin McCarthy could deliver any base runners at all, and he has.
Too pretty pessimistic.
This is a bill that weakens us in the fight against climate change. It takes food away from hungry people. It makes students who are struggling on student loan debt locked in harder on making their payments.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now, President Joe Biden released a statement Thursday night praising Congress's efforts and saying that he looks forward to signing the bill into law. He plans to address the nation today at 7 p.m. Eastern Pacific. Well, coming up, we meet our furry friend of the week looking for their forever home. And later, we take to the field as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks had their home opener game. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventure. To Africa, all corners of the earth, follow us on this adventure. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macker mites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under partly sunny skies. The current temperature to Jamestown Airport as of noon is 82 degrees with an east wind of 6 miles per hour. Well, if you haven't noticed lately, we've been dry. We haven't seen any rain. It's been warm. It's been hot. And as a result, we have now officially been put into drought status across the southern tier, as well as pretty much the whole state of Pennsylvania are under D0, which is abnormally dry conditions across the southern tier, and with no really rain in the forecast, it doesn't look to improve anytime soon. You see in our rain chances over the next 5 days, pretty much nothing at all. We'll have a weak cold front move through the region tonight, but it's pretty much moisture starved, so we won't get any rain out of that. And then we have another cold front early on next week, Monday and Tuesday. Might get some showers out of that, but we need widespread rain, and there's just no widespread rain in the forecast. So it looks like these drought conditions may get worse before they get better. Here's what's happening across the Northeast right now. We still have high pressure in control, but it's starting to lose its control in the region a little bit. That backdoor cold front is up towards north across Canada. It's going to swing through the region later tonight. Any rain that comes from that is going to be farther off to the east. We might not see nothing at all here across western New York, and you'll see that on future scan. Partly to mostly sunny skies to the rest of the afternoon. That backdoor cold front swings through the night. Even future scan showing very little to anything at all. Maybe an isolated shower, and then we'll go right back to partly sunny skies to the rest of the day tomorrow. Though if that cold front does anything, it will cool us off heading into the weekend, but otherwise it will be dry, partly sunny skies tomorrow. Mainly clear skies through the night Saturday, and then partly to mostly sunny skies through the day on Sunday with cooler temperatures. And now the extended forecast powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. One last day of warm temperatures today in the mid to upper 80s, and then we're down to the upper 70s tomorrow, and we'll go to the low 70s Sunday and Monday, and pretty much through much of next week. Again, a small chance for a couple rain showers Tuesday and Wednesday, but most of the time it's just going to be dry, although it will be cooler as temperatures through the middle of next week, at least in the upper 60s.
Alrighty, Andrew, thank you very much. And now switching to our favorite pet of the week segment. In an effort to help animals find their forever home, WNY News Now is partnering with Chautauqua County Humane Society in a segment called The Pet of the Week. Now joining us is Brian Papalea to talk more about Alyssa's future furry friend. Sounds of things.
Yeah, connected. This is Mary. Mary's about 5 months old, and she is one of a number of puppies we have right now. And I'm going to let Alyssa talk about what she feels about Mary.
I am actually very impressed. I always say that I'm not a dog person, but I mean, she's small, and she's just so chill. And I think that's really important for specific households looking for a calmer environment. Yeah. And she's just full of love. I mean, as we all know, when Ben licked my face, it was game over, and I just got puppy kisses, so stay tuned. I think that she would make a great addition to any household, really.
When you have a puppy, so much of it comes down to what you put into the puppy. You know, training, time, love. Sorry, I have something in my throat, so it's making me a little hard to talk. But yeah, it's very important, those formative years, you know, to get all that down and to get a routine down for potty and everything.
Do we know how she is with other pets yet?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Learning, because I know we said she's very, very young.
Yeah, she's 5 months old. And just a reminder too is any animal that comes from the Chautauqua County Humane Society has been spayed or neutered, which you can see she was just spayed the day before yesterday. And that they're up to date on their vaccinations. They have a microchip, which is right around there somewhere. So if something should happen where they get lost, they can be scanned and be hopefully more quickly reconnected with their people. And then they get a little bit of flea treatment. So it's a good start.
Definitely. And I feel, you know, obviously all pets are a very big responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
And that's something too, when you have a puppy, I mean, that's, a 15, maybe 20-year commitment. I mean, it's something you really want to take into consideration for. And it's cool too, if you have, a younger child at home, they can grow up together, because a younger child is also a 15 to 20 year commitment. Sorry. I can't talk.
That's okay. I'll talk for you. No, she definitely, even when you just handed her to me, she's very calm. She doesn't seem to mind being, handled.
She's very happy, yeah.
Just a happy little puppy.
Well, Alyssa, I know that when I first showed you the picture of this puppy, you kind of sat there and said, "That's coming home with me today."
That is exactly what I said.
That's what she said when we walked in the door.
And it sounds like you've made a few calls, but still no answer yet.
No answer yet.
That's something we love when Alyssa's here, because the networking is already started. Like, it's not, it's like we're coming down here to spotlight these guys, but yeah, the move is already made. You just all go home with Alyssa.
It's fine.
I so wish.
But even if that's the case, there are a handful of other smaller mixed breed puppies. So come on down.
Definitely, Brian. Thank you. To learn more about any residents of the shelter, be sure to contact the Chautauqua County Humane Society at 716-665-2209 or visit chqhumane.org. Well, coming up next, take me out to the ball game as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks return to the field.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Caitlin Armstrong.
Land has been quite the experience.
3-on-3 basketball returns to Jamestown, New York this summer. Collaborative Children's Solutions and partners are hosting a Gus Macker tournament August 19th and 20th in Brooklyn Square. The streets will be packed with a festival atmosphere, bringing the youngest of our Macker mites up to the adult players who compete for the top prize in their divisions. Register online at Macker.com before July 31st. The Jamestown Macker will also include some specialty competitions, making it one of the best community events of the year.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source.
Well, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, they held their first home open game this weekend, with the stadium full of fans eager for the baseball season kickoff. Hundreds of fans made their way to the stadium, with many sporting their favorite Tarp Skunks attire. For one fan, being back at the stadium was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day and first game of the season, and I'm excited.
The baseball game saw a slew of children enjoying the sport. Now we spoke to two of the Tarp Skunks bat boys about their love of baseball.
It's fun.
And pretty cool?
Yeah. Probably be playing baseball and watching games.
Even Whiffy the Tarp Skunk had a few words to say. Well, that was quite a game last night, Andrew. You were there as me as well. How'd they end up doing?
They ended up winning 7-4, but it was just an exhibition game, so it didn't count towards the standings for the rest of the season.
Well, it was nice to see the Tarp Skunks get out there and actually win a game this time. It's pretty good. If you want to go to their next game, it will be Wednesday, June 7th at 11 a.m. You're telling me it was a kids' game, right?
Yep. Kids' Day game will feature and plenty of local schools will be in attendance for that game.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much. That's all the time we have for today. We'll leave this look over Chautauqua Lake. See you next time.